4536, and it will help you in no way with the concordance because it doesn't give you a whole lot. But when you looked it up, what did you find? It means a what?
Reverberation.
Got to have it loud enough for the microphone.
Reverberation.
Okay, that can be what they do, but what is the trumpet itself?
The war trumpet.
Okay, it can be used for a war, but what is a trumpet?
Signaling.
An instrument.
An instrument. What does your concordance translate it as one time?
Bugle.
Bugle is one time it translates it, so I can write that down. What kind of instrument is it in the Old Testament?
Ram's horn. It signals it. Ram's horn.
Okay, it's a ram's horn called a shofar. And again, I'm still not asking what it does or what they use them for yet. We'll get to that. But at this point, I'm just trying to get you to realize this trumpet in the Old Testament can be a silver hammered trumpet that the priests use, made out of metal.
All one piece.
All one piece, but oftentimes, and probably more often, it's the shofar, it's the ram's horn that they would turn into a, we don't look at that and say, that's not a very good trumpet. Oh, you know, it's like, what do you do with that? So you gotta get different ram's horns to get different sounds. Because the different lengths on them and the different sizes will produce a different sound. But this one here is a bugle, it's probably a shofar, which would have been a ram's horn. That's all I'm looking for. So they're handed these, so you can visualize this in that scene. This is probably what they're being handed, not a hammered metal trumpet that would have been rarely used only by the priests in worship. But they're going to blow these, whatever the noise might be. And so I had you look them up. How were trumpets used in Israel's history? In Numbers 10:2, there's the metal one. What's it tell you there?
Straight, silver, flared on one end.
Okay, they're silver trumpets, man-made,
For summoning the congregation.
for summoning the congregation. That's what the idea is, how they were used.
Assembly, yeah.
Okay? So they would have blown those for summoning the congregation. I'm sorry, it wasn't. But again, typically it would have been the priests, and I think that's what's in the context there. How about Joel 2:1? What kind of trumpet is that?
Warning.
Alarm.
It's to sound an alarm, specifically in relation to the day of the Lord here again. And it's to sound an alarm, specifically in relation to the day of the Lord here again.
Wow. You know,
Okay, this specifically in the Hebrew is a shofar or ram's horn. In this one in Joel 2. That's why I lean toward it being that in the Revelation 8. In Zephaniah 1:14-18, again, it's a shofar, is the Hebrew word being used, and what is it used for there?
fear and wrath.
Okay, God had it loud for the mic, yep.
Fear and wrath.
Okay, it brings fear and wrath, but it's used for,
Announcing.
okay, it announces what?
Battle cry.
It's a battle cry announcing
War.
specifically the day of the Lord in that passage. God's wrath. I'm just trying to pull things out of the text, okay? I'm really not trying to make stuff up, but I want you to realize there's two different kinds of horns. They had different purposes. They're sometimes used to summon the congregation. In this case, Joel 2, Zephaniah 1, it's a shofar, ram's horn. It's sounding an alarm. It's in reference to the day of the Lord. It's a battle cry. It's describing God's wrath. Really important, and they would have heard that. It would have gotten their attention. Just like when you're at camp and they ring the triangle, ding, 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 ding. What does that mean? It's meal time, and you better get there first because all the guys in front will eat everything and you won't get it. It's even more important with the Israelites. They would have reacted quickly when they heard this. They would have scrambled. Just like on the deck of a ship when the alarm goes off. I saw one in the old days. They used to actually put the microphone there, whatever they used on the ship, and they had a guy blowing a horn into it. I think it's all computerized now, no doubt. But back in the old days, I saw some old films. The guy was literally blowing in the different versions of what they needed to tell them to do with a trumpet there right on the sound system. I thought that was interesting. Anyway, any questions with verse 2?